Welcome back to Hanging with Dedo. My name is Derek, aka Dedo. We're lime washing our old historic home. What a beauty she is. Years of neglect and water damage has left her in a state of disrepair. That's how we found her. That's how she came into our life. I say came into our life because she's like a character in the story that I'm trying to tell. The premise of these videos or this channel is me trying to figure out a way to document and tell the story of a florist's dream and how he's chasing it and where it's led him to and hopefully where it's going. And we'll be able to look back and see in these videos kind of the progress of what took place and how it happened. And I can articulate my thoughts about it. So in the future, if I'm not around to tell it or somebody's interested to know me better, they would have this as a reference. My grandkids or my kids. It was my dad's idea for me to tell my story. He passed away not long ago, and on the anniversary of one of his deaths, I made a commitment that I would put myself out there and try to tell my story. And I thought about it for years as I became addicted, if you will, to watching people on YouTube who have big dreams and ideas in their lives and they chase them and they accomplish incredible things. And it's amazing what people do. And I don't know if our story is amazing, but it is our story. And I say ours because everyone around me is involved in it. It's my dream, but I've drugged them along and I'm thankful for them being my family and my coworkers. So thanks to them, we're in a position here where we can lime wash her, and she needs it badly. So stick around, and I'm going to show you how it went. Now, I'm not a professional lime washer. I'm not a professional painter. I'm a florist. But these are very expensive projects, and the biggest currency I have is sweat equity. And so I put a lot into it, in all of them. But because I love it, and I can do it from sun up to sundown every day if I have a chance. Physically I get tired, but inside I have the yearning, if you will, the burning, the fire. It's always inspiring to use your hands and to fix something or create something that you can look back on and see your progress. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to interact with you. So thanks for watching, and let's get into the lime washing now. When we took on the lime washing, it wasn't to lime wash it. I was actually trying to make some gutter repairs. When we started with the house, it leaked everywhere. The roof leaked in every place it could possibly leak. For years, the water had run in and down the walls on the inside and the outside of the house. We couldn't afford to fix the gutters in a permanent way when we did the roof. It's very complicated, these gutters. They're an old style, kind of built-in Queen Anne gutter, some people refer to them as. But we had a temporary solution to keep the water out, and it's worked great. But we're starting to see some deterioration of that in some areas in which we're getting water back inside the house. So while I was exploring our options to remedy the water on the gutter, I had removed some paint, and as you could see in these earlier pictures where you saw the eave was coming in, and birds and squirrels and everything were living in there, and so it's time to kind of remedy that. And I just started trying to, one, I was going to just temporarily fix the hole in the eave to keep the squirrels or the birds out, whatever was nesting in there. Sorry you had to relocate. And what I noticed behind the paint was a bunch of green kind of algae, mildew or mold, or I'm not sure what it was, but it gave me an indication that the render was had a lot of moisture in it. And water is really the worst thing that you could have in any kind of sedimentary product, bricks or concrete or lime mortar, any of that stuff. It's just not what you want. You want it to be able to breathe. unfortunately, they had covered this house with some modern paint, a latex or acrylic paint, which kept the moisture that was seeping in from anywhere, just outside moisture in general, off from the ground, in the render on the outside of the house, which was causing it to decay and crack. So uh, that moved this project to the front of the list, if you will, on my big board, as I call it, which I go into later at other details in other videos if you're interested to know how it all came together. With that said, you can see in these pictures we've made a little progress. We've ground out part of the house, and we're about to have the front finished as far as the preliminary lime washing, which this will take another coat or two, and maybe over the next couple years I'll continue to add lime to it so that it'll preserve it for future generations.
It is beautiful plastering. I'd say this is done in the early 20s. Someone painted over it. You can see the mill, the algae growing back there. That's how wet it is. That's how it was behind all this. I guess this may be some kind of latex paint or something. Some kind of acrylic or something. Encapsulated it. It's going to breathe a lot better now. Obviously we got some damage here, but it's alright in the forest. I'm not afraid.
Well, as you can see here, we had quite a bit of damage, a lot of cracks, big cracks, little cracks. Obviously the eaves there we already went over that, the squirrels and that kind of thing. So as we move along through these videos, I'm just going to recap what happened as we got through earlier I said the front of the house, but really we only did two sections. We didn't include the middle section where the door in between the columns in the back, and we didn't start that yet. That's a whole nother project, mostly painting there, and the water doesn't get on it because of the roof above it. So we didn't try to get in there and strip that at this point. We wanted to try to get the bulk of the exterior paint off and limed where it was getting a lot of the moisture. So that's why we didn't do the inside, but we will get to that eventually. But here you can see that we've gotten about half of it prepped and ready to go, and I'll continue on with the videos here, and so you can get a good idea of what took place getting to the point of having the front done.
Here we are. We're into about 10 o'clock, so 3-4 hours into hopefully a 3-day work here. What we're looking at here is the fascia board, and it had this brick, and it was basically attached under here with some mortar and a piece of trim up here. You can see where it was that attached to this part, and that basically held it in. It wasn't very sturdy. It's bowing, and a lot of the concrete or the mortar behind it has disintegrated from the water running in out of this gutter here. Probably that bit of a hole. The water backs up here, gets in, runs underneath here, rots all this out. Under here and the inside is all wet, and the plaster is coming out. You can see it's all tied together, but we came in here and drilled some holes, found some solid spots, put some 4-inch concrete screws into the brick. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we got 7 or 8 down through here. some of these holes we had to drill, there was nothing solid to put it in, so obviously we'll have to do some caulking there. But once we sand it and caulk it and paint it, you'll never see the difference. So I'm real excited. We got this part solved. I had a real trouble figuring out because I kept trying to put it in the loose spot, but basically it was the nothing really solid to hold the screw. As soon as you pulled, I'm trying to get these nails out, which are, this wood is really hard and old, it's 100+ years old, so it's not like wood we have today. You put a nail in it, it's very, very difficult to get out. So without pulling the board off, which is what I did, and I came in here and I just hammered some nails in with the nail gun just to kind of give it some teeth, if you will, to have something behind there to kind of give it a little more support, and then tightened it with the screws. So I think we're in good shape there. Of course, this has turned out really nice. We've stripped all this. Of course, if you look at it really close, you can see all the old paint still on there in places, like that spot right there. But compared to what it was, it's basically beautiful and smooth.
And here in the video, I continue to explain to you how we made the repairs under the eave with the bead board as opposed to the tongue and groove, and some of the basic repairs that we did here just to reinforce the gutter where it was leaking. The water had leaked in here a long time, and we have a lot of work to do on the gutter still, so we didn't want to add the tongue and groove and have to tear that out to get underneath the gutter if we needed to make further repairs. So as I explained that here, that we used the bead board instead, and went on about a few other details, I basically got to the end where we talked about caulking it and painting it. So I'm going to conclude the video here just because these run on and there's a lot to cover, so I don't want to take up too much time in these videos. So for the sake of keeping them short, I'm going to wrap it up here. But you can see from the road, once we have everything screwed back and painted, it really looks nice. So in the episodes to come, we're going to get to the lime washing, how we applied that, how we fixed the cracks and those types of things. So stick around and keep up with the playlist. You'll be able to see as we progress along and get the old house lime washed and the old paint off. So thanks again for hanging with Dedo. Remember, it's always a beautiful day in the flower business, and may God bless you.
This part right here